Hi, welcome to Career Mindset. This is Derek once again. So this channel is charting the career journey of ordinary people and getting an understanding of how they came to the career of their choice. So today I'm talking to a very beautiful young lady who works for a merchant bank in the City of London as a senior specialist advisor. Welcome, Anne.
Hi, everybody.
Okay, so Anne, firstly, I think your role is it's a specialist role. So you're gonna kind of explain a little on what you actually do. So, and take it away. What do you actually do in your role?
So as Derek mentioned, I work in a merchant bank. I work in investment banking, and it's a specialist role because I work in second line of defense, drafting policy for the bank's anti-money laundering framework or anti-financial crime framework.
Okay, excellent, excellent. So, how did you get started in your career? I mean, your career is, you've been working in this bank for, I think, 6 months, you mentioned. So have you worked in different areas before you embarked in working for the merchant bank, or how did you get started?
Yeah, sure. So I studied law at university. I didn't want to practice it. I don't know, I found it a bit boring, but it was fun to study.
Yeah.
And then I came out, I wasn't really too sure what I wanted to do after university. And a lot of people that maybe studied law at uni, mentioned compliance because it's close to law, but it's not actually practicing law. So I looked into it and it sounded interesting, but I took several routes before I actually got into the role that I'm currently in now. So I worked in a gym as a receptionist, and I also worked as an estate agent in the city. And then I, started working in the civil service as a criminal caseworker, and then went into my first policy role in Department for Business, working on Brexit. And then also I worked in the Home Office, and the role that I worked in the Home Office was to work on a bill, that focused on economic crime. And my stakeholders were, banks. So that's what got me into the role of banking.
Okay. So you've always had like a natural interest in working in banking.
Yeah, you could say that, yeah.
Okay. So that takes care of our next question. So in terms of your current position, which you've been working in, you've been there for how long is it? Six months you mentioned? 6 months.
Nearly 6 months.
6 months, okay. So within the industry, how long have you been working in there altogether?
So within banking 6 months. Policy, I would say like around 4 years. I've had 4 years experience in policy. Yeah. And that's mostly within the civil service.
Okay. So our next question is salary, money. money. So approximately a person that starts within policy, within merchant banking, how much can they expect to make?
Yeah, I mean, it varies. It depends. Yeah. So if you're a graduate and let's say you were to go into banking, potentially starting from 30K, but obviously within investment banking, you could potentially earn a bit more. But yeah, I would say that if you're straight out of university, like 30 to 40K region.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about more of a senior person, a person that's been there for a number of years? How much could they expect to make?
A lot. A lot of money.
So we're talking 6 figures. Talking
definitely 6 figures. I think, you could probably...
Maybe 7 figures, possibly?
Well, I'm not too sure about 7 figures. But it depends on, again, it depends whether you're first line of defense or if you're, on the floor trading.
Yeah.
Because trading, obviously, they get a commission and the sky's not the limit with them. So they can make a lot of money.
They can make a lot of money.
Yeah.
Okay. So the next question is challenge-wise. What do you find challenging about your career?
I'd say that policy is a very challenging role in itself because there's no right or wrong answer.
Yeah.
with policy. It's going through quite a lot of people to kind of review and read and making sure that, you know, it's in plain English and in layman's terms, because it may make sense to you, you know, as the, you know, technical specialist. However, it may not make sense to somebody who knows absolutely nothing about it. So that's what's challenging about policy, and just making sure that it's clear. But I would say as well, because I've come from civil service and going into banking is completely different. Working in the public sector and banking is a completely different ball game.
Okay.
So it's kind of understanding how my work impacts the entire bank, you know, because obviously in the civil service, you're protecting people.
Yeah.
With banking, you are protecting the bank, but it's
Yeah.
also making sure that, you know, there isn't duplication of work with, you know, other people within the bank, and kind of working, you know, as a synergy, or, you know, working together and collaborating, you know, to make sure that, you know, we can make something good for the bank.
Sure.
So yeah, so it's challenging, but it's fun.
Oh, okay, that's good. That's good. So in terms of training, do you need to, or what training do you need to do in order to get into it?
I didn't take any training, if I'm completely honest with you. I feel like my experience is what got me into the role that I'm in now. But I did, the only training that I have done, which I still don't think they, like, you know, it was a big deal, was AML, ICA training. So yeah, that's
So
anti-money
like
laundering.
a specialist training for your kind of role.
Yeah, you could say that. Yeah, it's specialist training. So it's the ICA.
Okay.
And yeah, so that was just an anti-money laundering certificate. And yeah, well, the bank, not the bank, sorry, the organization Home Office paid for it for me. Yeah.
Okay.
So
Okay.
yeah.
Fantastic. So in terms of degree, I know you've done a degree. Do you necessarily need a degree to get into your role?
I don't think so. I don't believe that you need a degree, but if you are looking to go into banking as an accountant, obviously, well, actually, no, you may need a degree for accounting, but
Yeah.
you know, I guess it kind of depends. But I felt like in my role, my law degree didn't get me where I am now. It's my experience.
Okay, so effectively you can do another degree and you could still be working in your role.
Yeah, I feel like it helps though, because
Yeah.
if you're drafting policy, you need
Yeah.
to make sure that you're able to draft technical stuff, you know, language typing is what's needed. But yeah, I feel like, yeah, you don't need a degree. But then that doesn't mean don't study.
No, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, degree will definitely get
Help.
you in there.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Absolutely. Degree is important. It's
Yeah.
important. So, you know, continue to do your degree.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of I mean, you are employed to a merchant bank, I guess, but could you alternatively be self-employed in terms of work and for yourself, and like a contractor type of thing? Do they employ contractors in this role?
Yeah, they do.
Okay.
Oh, but for the role, I'm not sure. But in the bank, they do
Yeah.
definitely do contracting work. So
Okay.
there is flexibility, and of course, you don't have to work in the bank in policy. You can
Yeah.
do any policy elsewhere and
Yeah.
be a contractor.
Oh,
So,
excellent, excellent. Okay, so in terms of working remotely, I mean, nowadays with pandemic, people work remotely, people work from home, in the office. Do you have a choice in terms of where to work? Can you work from home sometimes?
Yeah, so I'm hybrid working, so I
Okay.
go in on specific days during the week.
Okay,
Yeah.
fantastic. So really the next question is there, I mean, this effectively is the last question. So take it away. What advice would you give to people, ladies, gentlemen, that would like to come into the role or come to work in policy, especially in the merchant bank? Merchant banks are not always so easy to kind of get into. So what advice would you give to people that want to embark into working for a merchant bank or different banks?
I would definitely say drill down what it is that you want to do in banking.
Yeah.
If you want to work in policy, if you want to work in financial crime, figure that out first before you decide to go into banking, because obviously there is so big, especially in investment banking. There's so many things that can be done. Once you've figured that out, sort out your LinkedIn and connect with people, because the financial crime world is very small,
Yeah.
and it just takes one person to mention your name. So sort out your LinkedIn, figure out what it is that you want to do in banking, and start applying for those roles. If you're younger, ask for work experience. If you don't ask, you're not going to get. I would definitely say go out of your way to connect with the correct people on LinkedIn, and ask if they've got any work experience, if they're interested in I guess allowing you to shadow them.
Sure.
And yeah, that's it.
So work experience is key, basically.
Yeah, work experience.
Yeah. Oh, excellent. I think this is it, really. So thank you, Anne, for sharing your experience. Hopefully this will encourage, it'll excite, and it'll help transform your thinking regarding embarking into banking, regarding embarking into working for a merchant bank. It's not impossible. It's possible for people to work in this kind of in this kind of environment. So continue to renew your thinking, and this will become possible for you. So please remember to subscribe, like, and share with others that will benefit. Okay, so we're done for today. Thank you very much, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye bye.